Hey everyone, here I am making another video for you guys on something really important. This is meant, what I'm about to talk about is really meant to wake people up, and it's with the best of intentions. We're in a really crazy time right now, you guys. Everyone in one way or another is going through this, and we can't avoid it. It's global now. It's getting messy. A lot of information, a lot of things are getting revealed at this time, which are very uncomfortable. This information is very uncomfortable for a lot of people, and I get that. However, this is a really crucial time for people to wake up, and I really mean this with all the love in my heart for everyone when I say this. We really need to wake up. In general, not enough people are waking up right now, not fast enough, in my opinion. Okay. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist about things. Anyone who knows me knows I have the most hope for humanity in that sense. But this is a really crucial time. And just from, being online and seeing the way people are speaking back and forth to each other, there's so much hate out there right now. There's so much division between people. There's so many things that people are fighting about right now. And I'm sure that most of you can relate to this too. I'm sure many of you have lost friends over this. Friends, right? I'm going to use that quote unquote because the definition of even a friend it changes as you start to sort of wake up and ascend. Okay. So, like I say in every video, I will repeat it again and again until it's reprogrammed into people's minds now, because this is a time of deprogramming from the 3D world. And we don't want to program anything. That's the thing. We have been programmed for so long and controlled and brainwashed that what we're trying to do now is deprogram from that and reconnect to our soul, reconnect to who we are, which every single one of us is unique and individual. Okay. This herd mentality is terrible and it needs to go. Okay. And I will talk about that in a second. So this video today is mainly to talk about how to break free from the matrix and deprogram from that. Okay. This is super important, you guys, for anyone. If you're interested in this, please share this information. Please get this out there. If this resonates with you, please share this information, because it might hit the right people. Somebody might watch this and wake up. That might be their, oh my God, aha moment. And I want that to happen to as many people as possible. This is my mission. This is what I'm here to do. And this is what gives me the most passion and drive. It's 11 p.m. and I'm making my video and I'm exhausted. I don't know about you guys, but this whole crazy retrograde time that we're in, the last few days I've been purging like crazy. The last time I had these ascension symptoms were, gosh, I don't even know, probably 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And it was really intense. And it was that intense for me this time around too. So I have been recovering from that, sleeping a lot, just recovering from all kinds of purging symptoms that I've been experiencing in my body. Very uncomfortable, very painful. Very painful. I will tell you that. Yesterday was probably the worst day for me. I hit an all-time depression, a feeling of just low depression. I couldn't stop crying all day, crying for so many things in the world. I was feeling the pain of the world. Let's just put it that way. Just talking about it, it starts to make me tear up even now, just for the children and just for humanity in general. The children of the world are being saved, and this is also symbolic of ourselves. We have lost that innocent child in us that's been taken away from humanity in general for a long time, if you think about it. So we're taking our power back. We're bringing back that child innocence back to us that we lost, that was traumatized, that was abandoned, that was abused. Okay, we're healing that. Yes, on a personal level, but in the collective as well. This is why we feel it so strong sometimes, because everyone is healing from something. So it's important to really love one another right now. This is not a time for hate. When I go on Facebook and I go in certain groups and I see certain, comments, and people are very hateful at this time, I really try and It doesn't matter. You know how many people have come at me with really hateful things. I've commented on things, very neutral things, and I've gotten such hate back. Just pure projection from people, you know, that has nothing to even do with what the post was about, let's say, and they're just saying, well, you're just stupid, and you should just accept that you're just stupid because you don't know what you're talking, you know, things like that. And if you let these things get to you, I mean, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to understand that you will get hate in life. You always will get rejection and hate, but that shouldn't stop you from doing what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? That should never stop you. So what I'm saying is, I really want everyone to sort of break free from that 3D matrix now. It's time to wake up and to move on. So, one sec. There we go. Sorry, I was just checking something. So yeah, I'm going to talk about how to deprogram, and that's the first thing. And then what are some things that you can do? Like, you know, first of all, how are we programmed? Okay, I'm going to talk about that. How have we been controlled? Let's first talk about that so you understand where I'm coming from, so that we're on the same, you know, standpoint here. And then I'll talk about how to actually deprogram, okay, from that. So sorry, because I make notes, but I don't actually plan my video. I just kind of go with the flow. I just go with the energy. I don't like to plan what I'm going to say before too much. So I meditate right before, and I ask, you know, I create the right energy atmosphere, and I just kind of go with it. So the first thing is, how have we been controlled? Okay, we've been controlled in, gosh, so many ways, okay? The first thing I'm going to talk about is mainstream media. This is the first way we've been controlled. So there are like 6 corporations that run the entire world basically and control all the information that is being fed to us. So when you understand this, and this information has been put out there, but so many people just want to ignore it. And I really want you to stop ignoring it, because think about that. You're getting your information from 6 corporations, and these 6 corporations are owned by basically the same families. Like, what is it, 2, 3 families? I don't even know, but it's the cabal basically. Okay, and these are not very nice families. If you know the things that these families have been doing for eons, because in each generation, it's just, you know, the new generations, which, you know, they only kind of marry within and keep the bloodlines, their bloodlines within, you know. So there's a lot of that, like incest and things like that going on too. So it's not a healthy bloodline, and they do really bad things. I'm not going to get into details about that because I don't need to. I don't want to ruin the vibe of this video. It's just horrible. But I constantly share this information in my group, on my 2 pages, on Instagram. The links are all down below, so definitely follow that or like that if you're interested in knowing more. On a daily basis, I share this information. So not only through the news, like I mentioned, but through Hollywood. Hollywood, you know, influences the entire world. We all know this. That's in music, movies, videos. You know, look on Netflix, even look on just your cable, the movies that they play, you know, that come out in Hollywood, the music you listen to the lyrics sometimes. I don't know if, you know, sometimes people pay attention to those things. Yes, a lot of the new music may have good beats, and I'll tell you something else, a lot of the new music that comes out is actually meant to cause feelings of anger and anxiety and depression and things like that in you. There's a frequency, it's all based off frequency. There's a harmonic frequency that's perfect for us, that creates a peace, and it's, you know, even the geometric pattern of that frequency is very symmetrical and perfect and beautiful. You can do it in, you know, water experiments and play that frequency and see the vibrations that come out and how symmetrical they are. And then you can compare that to the frequency of music that's set for us for humanity for a long time. This was done on purpose, by the way. It goes all the way back to, you know, just government stuff way back when. I'm not going to get into detail. That'll take way too much time in the video. But this information, like I said, you can find on my, you know, source, my pages and everything down below, that you can see the links. So and that frequency that they have set forth for us is not harmonic at all. It actually messes around. It's when you play it on water or something, you'll see it's actually very ugly. It's not even symmetrical. So they've done that on purpose to mess around with our DNA as well. Keep in mind. So they've controlled us in all of this. The lyrics of music is terrible. A lot of its stuff is very overly sexual. It's very promiscuous. It doesn't give off the right message. It's not about unity and harmony and things like that. Yes, there are some groups that have branched off and done that, but I'm talking about mainstream here, okay? That's the first way. The second way we've been controlled is through religion. 1010, I just saw that. Religion, okay? And this is not to trigger, anyone who is religious. I'm not trying to do that to you and make you feel bad. The whole point is to avoid feeling guilty. This is not about that. I was raised a Muslim, okay? I've always kind of been a rebellious soul, and since like I could talk, I've been asking questions. I mean, in Islamic school, we used to go every Saturday to that, and they used to teach us things, about the Quran and about just Islam in general, the teachings. And I was that one kid in class who was like asking questions that the teacher couldn't even answer, because I was the first thing for me was like I didn't believe we evolved even from apes and things like that. So I used to question things like that, and just even the teachings within, I used to just question things that didn't make sense to me. And of course the teachers didn't like that. So religion is not something I got attached to from a young age. I never did, but my family is on both sides are very religious in that sense. So I was brought up until I was probably at least 18, 19 years old in that, and then I left on my own. But it was it was heavy around me in the culture, but I've been who I was forever, so I can't, what I mean. But I'm speaking to those who are listening right now to what I'm saying. Religion is the way that they've controlled you. Think about what religion does. It teaches you to be fearful. It teaches you what is right, what is wrong. It doesn't allow you to think for yourself. It's telling you a story. And have you ever questioned who really wrote those books to begin with? Like, how do you know? You need to learn to question things, not just take things for what they're told, as they are told to you. How do you know? Like, who really wrote that? Do you know if things were taken out or edited at that time? Do you really know? Genuinely know? You really have to learn to understand and learn about life through your own experience. We have been, taught to not really love ourselves or trust ourselves. To always look externally outside of ourselves for help or for power, or for knowledge. But the truth is, it's all in you. We are angelic humans. We really are. And it's in our DNA. We're actually 12-stranded beings. And if you compare that to other beings, we're technically angels. So right now we're just in the process of reactivating our DNA. We're going from 2-stranded back to 12-strand. And in that, we are reactivating our potentials, our skills, our abilities, as I like to call us, angelic humans. So things will start to happen that you can't understand, and it might be scary at first, but your psychic abilities will start, because we all have that naturally within us. We have our third eye, which, they have calcified over time on purpose. And I will talk about that in a second, because gluten is the one way, it's actually poison for our bodies, and it's the one sure way that they've used and put in all our foods to calcify this, which is our third eye, our pineal gland. And in doing that, it basically blocks off our chakras. And in blocking off your chakras, that blocks off your intuition and your ability to think for yourself using your other bodies. Because it's not just this body that's our body. We have our light bodies as well, our etheric bodies. And we're actually connected constantly to the other realms, we're able to. But that's been cut off for us. So we're in the process, of course, of reactivating this now, though. And so a lot of things start to happen as a result. Eventually we're going to be able to move things with our mind, kinetics. We can move things with our mind. Telepathy. We won't need to speak. We can just communicate using our minds. We have that ability. We're multidimensional as well. Our DNA is multidimensional. So as time goes on, our scientists are going to discover this as well. It's very exciting. So anyways, back to how being controlled. So mainstream media, religion, education, the education system all around the world for children, it's totally controlled. If they could only teach what, kids really should be taught, and not just about here, but about the universe, the galaxy, the other planets around us, which do house life, and advanced life. So, about how energy works, about how the world really works, been lied to about everything. Everything. Education has been so controlled in that sense. And when children do ask questions outside the box, like I constantly did as a kid, we're always shut down, or we're not given the right answers, things like that, or they just don't know, I guess, because they themselves have been taught that way, right? Um, Society expectations, as a result of all these things, of course. Then you start to feel the pressure because everyone around you is doing something and you disagree and you may want to do something else. So, we really have to understand there's so many forces working against us in the 3D, okay, to have us conform. And I understand it's hard. So I understand it takes effort, of course, but you have to want this for yourself. First of all, that's the first thing. If you don't want this for yourself, well, I guess you wouldn't be watching this anyways, but if you don't want this for yourself, then truthfully, nobody can help you. You're the only one who can help yourself, No, Jesus isn't going to come down and save us, or, whatever we've been taught in that sense. That's not what's going to happen. We are the ones who are going to save ourselves, and only those who ascend to that vibration of 5D are going to be able to go on that timeline. So I really am saying this with the utmost love and sincerity in my heart, to wake up and start doing that work, that inner work. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are awakening at this time right now. There were the forerunners. We are the forerunners, and myself and many other light workers who woke up and had that awakening years ago. Okay, so we're already kind of in the know of what's going on right now. And that's why we're teaching. That's why we're the ones who have to make that extra effort now to wake everyone up. And that's why I say this with urgency, because I really need people to start thinking a different way. Okay. So, these are the ways that we've been controlled. Now, how to deprogram? Okay. How do we deprogram from this? Now, I just want to read you guys something. It's a quote from the movie The Matrix. Morpheus is saying this to Neo. Okay, so let me just hold on. He says, "The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so injured, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it." So, oh my God, 1111. Look at that. I constantly see these numbers. So if you're seeing these numbers constantly too, by the way, which it's years for me now, but I mean, if that's just you're starting and you're getting freaked out because in the beginning you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Well, you're starting to wake up. That's what the awakening codes. You're starting to wake up, and that's great, because that means that you're starting to go through that process of breaking free from the matrix. So you have to start, it's just gonna accelerate for you. It's very exciting. So let's see here. 1 second. A lot of the people right now that we're talking to, they're just kind of in the matrix, and they're actually unknowingly, I guess, but they're fighting for the same, they're fighting for the enemy. I don't want to talk too much about politics, but right now with the whole Trump thing, and there's so much division caused by that. The people who want Trump to win, and then the people who are just totally anti-Trump. And there's so much misinformation going around. So many people are still following and watching CNN and, this mainstream news and things like that, and getting their information there. And then the rest of us who kind of are on a different level, like we kind of know, you just know when you know what I mean? We've already seen past that facade and past the illusion. So we're seeing things for how they really are. Okay. You have to know where to get your information from as well. So, let me see here. Vaccines, the foods that we eat, TV, just constant distractions. This is why our society, it's constantly about distractions, controlled information. To deprogram from all of this, first of all, you have to, control the sources of information, like where you're getting your information from. What sources are you getting them from? Are you still getting them from mainstream sources? Because if you are, I mean, you know what I mean, you're still stuck in that. You're still a part of the controlled system because you're being fed information with a certain intention, which is fake, and you're taking it and you're believing it. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of step back and question the sources of information. Like, where are you getting the information from? Okay. So much information, so much fake stuff is coming out right now. You have to learn how to discern what information you're getting. So I don't want to be here to tell you what is correct and what is not correct, because that's not my place. It's your place to know what is correct for you. Do you know what I mean? It has to resonate within you, and you have to kind of step back and not be sucked into that narrative that they're feeding us right now. Definitely diet is huge. And I want to talk about gluten really quick, because I had this crazy experience 2 days ago or so where I thought I was going to die. And I'm not kidding you. I mean, I had a burger. I was craving a burger. And I nearly died, I think, because my body totally rejected it, and as I was eating it, I kind of knew inside I shouldn't be eating this, but I was craving it. Like that, I guess you could say 3D part of me or whatever, human part of me still, craves that kind of stuff once in a while. But my goodness gracious me, my body rejected that in every way. And it wasn't food poisoning or anything. It was a totally safe burger. But I could not process it. Like literally, I felt like it was stuck right here. It just wouldn't even go down. And I had to actually throw it up towards the end. Sorry, not to be gross, but it's the truth. And since then, I literally fasted for like 2 days. I recommend intermittent fasting, guys, every once in a while, or at least juicing those days, because your body has to detox. What's happening right now is that we're activating our light bodies, and our light bodies require different frequency of foods. They require foods that have a lot of life force energy. Okay, this is what I call it, life force energy foods. And these are raw foods, basically. Like for me, I've been craving a lot of, like today I had a lot of watermelon. I just wanted, juicy watermelon to rehydrate my body and things like that. I've been drinking a lot of water, lemon water. I've been eating, of course, today, but just lighter foods in general. I'm not craving meat as much. Okay, this is going to happen to you, and I'll explain why. Okay, I'll explain why. It's meat. When you cook meat, you kill the life force energy that's in that food. So when you're eating, what's happening is you're actually needing to put life force energy. It's energy that your body, it's not based on the actual weight or like mass of the food. It has nothing to do with that. You could eat like a burger this huge, but if it's just full of cooked meat and processed cheese and that's it, and like a lot of sauce and over fried onion rings, let's say, and bread, okay, that's filling you up bulk wise, so you feel full, but you're not getting the energy that your body actually needs, and the vitamins and the nutrients. It's not about quantity, guys, it's about quality at this point. If you want to ascend to 5D, your diet needs to change. And I know it takes time. I'm not saying from one day to the next become like a vegan. No, I'm not even a vegan or a vegetarian yet. I still eat chicken once in a while, cooked a certain way, things like that. I'll even have chicken fingers or something like made at home, or clean ones, you know what I mean, every once in a while. But it's more about fruits for me right now, a lot of fresh fruit, a lot of hydrating with water and good liquids for my body. Hydrating through fruit as well, because fruit's a really great way. It's pure of life force energy in that, and vitamins that your body needs, and it's processed easily through your body. You're going to be able to, your light body requires that right now, okay? And things like, organic yogurt, even, grains like cereals that are healthy, things like that. Even really good quality, like chocolate, every once in a while is good for you. Some coffee, because that's an antioxidant for your body. Everything in moderation, you know what I mean? Fresh salads, things like that, Even when you cook your meals, just make sure it's clean. Like, don't overly fry and use dirty oil and things like that. Use things that are good for your body, okay? Definitely. And gluten is a poison for the body. So I have to start shopping like gluten-free for a lot of things, because my kids react to it now too. I've noticed my husband, myself, we all react to it. And we've been, watching this whole process for a long time and kind of observing what we've been eating for a few years now. So we've come to that conclusion now, finally, it's gluten. It's exactly gluten. When we remove gluten from our diet or really reduce it, everything changes. You know, your skin changes, your digestion changes, your mood changes. So remember, gluten calcifies this, your pineal gland, your third eye. And this is really bad because once you block your chakras, I mean, everything starts to go out of whack in your body. You start to go under depression. You start to get really cloudy because you literally are blocking this, and you're cloudy because you cannot connect anymore to your source energy field anymore. You can't. You can start to get body problems too in your organs, like thyroid issues, things like that, and that can affect your weight. It can affect your mood. It can affect all kinds of things. It's just bad, guys. So gluten, minimize or remove from your diet if you don't eat too much of it. Like, I mean, if you do eat a lot of it, like, minimize it or remove it from your diet, guys, because it's poison. Research gluten, like, do some research on it and see. Because even with bread, there's ways. There's gluten-free bread, and I know you can even get like whole wheat bread or those ones with, you know, different seeds and things like that, and that's good for you. Because the issue with gluten is that it's, when you look at the grain, the wheat grain, when you've removed all the layers and you get down to just that inner part, like even remove the husk and you're in that inner part, which I think is white in color, that's what it is. And that's what they're turning into flour, like bleach. They're even adding in bleach sometimes, which is, I mean, think about bleach. You use it to clean your like bathroom and stuff, and they're putting some of that in your flour. That's why you have to get unbleached flour sometimes. They have that. Why do you think? It's because there's bleach in the other one, right? So that's pure poison that they're putting in your body, okay? And that's the chemical you find in that part of the wheat grain is poison for your body. But when you have it with the husk, the outside husk, which I think is the whole wheat grain, when they give you whole wheat flour and things like that, that your body can process somehow. So do some research into this, guys, and look into it. And, you know, you have to take care of yourself and your body and your family as well, and educate them on these things. So yeah, I wanted to put that out there about gluten because it's super important to get that out of your diet. It's poison. It's poison in every way, okay? And just start eating foods that are from the earth, what the earth has provided. There should be no real process in between the product, you know, from the earth to your plate. Let me put it that way. You know, just try and keep it as earthy as possible when it comes to your cooking, what you're putting into your bodies right now. So another thing is start looking into what kind of information are you constantly looking at. So we all have our routine. You wake up, you know, when you wake up, you go on your phone, that type of thing. What are you looking at? Are you going on like mainstream news and looking at, you know, things that are not really even elevating your consciousness in any way, that are superficial? Do you know what I mean? This is part of programming as well. So learn to start to look at different kinds of information that actually raises your consciousness. You know, if you're watching this, you're already into that, I'm sure, but continue to do so, because it will lead you on and on and on to, you know, other things, and your awakening process really starts to, I guess, speed up in that process, okay? So let me see here. You need to, we have been programmed to think that we can't really do what we want to do. It's all about survival. You know, we're born, we go to school. Some of us continue on and, you know, go further into university and, you know, masters and things like that. Others kind of stop and start working. But in the end, we all end up working in some way. We're all a slave to the system. And we do what we can just for the purpose of making money, because it's all about money and how can we survive. So for this new way of living on this new earth, 5D earth, let's call it, okay? It's a different mentality altogether. It's not about that anymore. So you need to visualize for yourself, who are you? What do you really love to do? If you could design your life exactly how you wanted, what would that look like? And visualize this, but without limits, without, oh, you know, imagine the house that you would dream about, okay? The life, the career, everything in every detail, in every way. Every day you need to imagine this, because this is how you manifest. And you have to really believe that you can see it already, that it's happening, that it's already happened. Okay, you can day to day see your day-to-day life in living that life already, because you can have that, and this is how you manifest it. So then in the new earth, you're going to be doing what you love to do. This is the whole point of who we are. We're meant to be creative beings and do what we love to do in a very creative way, and that will already bring us the abundance that we need in every single way. You don't have to worry about money is going to change. Don't be a slave to the economic system that's been put forth to us, because that's all going to change. It's all going to collapse. It's already collapsing. Okay, it's going to become something that you don't even know, and you'll always be taken care of in that sense. So you don't think about it in a monetary way. Think about it in a passionate, from here, like in your heart way. What do you love to do? How do you love to serve? Okay, how do you love to be creative? Because when you're creative, you're serving yourself, you're serving the world. I want to read you something really quick from the movie The Founder, that McDonald's movie, where he about McDonald's, the guy who created McDonald's. So it's called The Founder. And what I'm about to read you, so it was a scene in the movie where he puts in a record, and this is a speech by Dr. Clarence Floyd Nelson. Okay, this is who says it. I'm gonna read it to you. Persistence. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent won't. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. A genius won't. An unrewarded genius is practically a cliche. Education won't. The world is full of educated fools. Persistence and determination alone are all powerful. Show that you don't have to be defeated by anything, that you can have peace of mind, improved health, and a never-ceasing flow of energy. If you intend each and every day to achieve these things, the results will make themselves obvious to you. While it may sound like a magical notion, it is in you to create your own future. The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind, or as Ralph Waldo Emerson declared, a man is what he thinks about all day long. There we go. End quote. So that was by Dr. Clarence Floyd Nelson. This was on a record. So this was probably back in I don't even know, the 30s or 40s, maybe 50s. I'm not sure of the year, but this guy had this knowledge back then. He also understood that we create our own reality. Remember that when we come born onto this earth, we're taught that, we're all in one reality and everything. No, we come in our own reality. Every single human being creates their own universe, practically. We have that ability. We really do. We just haven't been taught that. Like I said, we've been taught wrong. Everything in education that's been taught to us is wrong. It's all wrong. We're deprogramming this information that they've taught us about ourselves. And I don't like to use the word programming, because I don't want to program you in anything. I want you to go back like a clean slate to how you were when you came, with your original blueprint of who you are, which is so unique and beautiful to be expressed in your own way. So be authentic to yourself, to what you love to do. Don't have that herd mentality of just doing and people pleasing. This is about taking our power back, guys. We need to take our power back. This means loving yourself. It means creating boundaries for yourself, to create the perfect environment and energy for your space and for your body, which is your temple. We need to take care of ourselves, not just on the outside, on the inside. Take care of your emotions. Deal with those blocked parts of your body where you have trauma still lying there. Face it. It's not comfortable. It's not. That's part of the dark, night of the soul, the shadow work. It's part of it all, and it has to be done for you to heal, because we have to also face the fact that, yes, we have been through a lot as these beings that have come onto this planet and incarnated, and we've been through a lot of traumas, and we did sign up for this, but also in order for us to ascend, we need to first heal ourselves, learn to heal ourselves, and then teach others how to heal themselves. It's not about healing other people. I think that it's a misconception in a lot of people. You're not here to save somebody else. You're not here to heal somebody else. You're here to heal yourself. And in healing yourself, you teach others to heal themselves. Everyone has to learn to heal themselves, and then the whole world will be healed. And that's how it works. So yeah, what I read to you though earlier, the reason for that was this is how you manifest for yourself. You need to believe in what it is that you want to do and have no obstacles. Don't imagine any obstacles, because what you're doing is you're putting the information out there of what you want. And when you put obstacles, you start to confuse the message that you're sending out to the universe. You are doing that. You're sending a message out. So be clear in your intention and be persistent. Don't give up after a week because it hasn't happened. It's going to take years sometimes, okay? But you know in your heart what it is that drives you, what it is that you want to do in life, and you need to believe in yourself and persistently manifest that for yourself in a positive way, sending out the right messages and visualizing it in the correct way, which is positive and without limits. Without limits. Don't think about the money. Think about yourself doing what you love to do. This is the key. This is the key also to subscribing to that quantum financial system that exists on that 5D timeline, which everyone will be automatically subscribed to once we're there. I'm on it already. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't ever worry about money in that sense. My family, myself, we're all taken care of, and not in a planned way. The universe did this for us over the course of time because we surrendered to the universe and we visualized every single day the life that we wanted, and it's literally manifesting. There are days my husband and I are shocked. We just don't understand. We can't believe the things that are manifesting right now in our lives. You remember this is a time of harvest. I talked about more astrological related things in my last video about the time we're in right now. This is a harvest time of things we've been working on, soul completion, goals, things like that. And literally you'll think it's not real sometimes. You'll say, how is this possible? How is this happening? It's like miracles are happening for you right now, and it's the truth. That's what's happening. It's not a miracle. It's you created it for yourself. And we do this constantly. This is who we are. So yeah, I think I covered it all. That was basically the message I wanted to send out to you guys. Wow, 37 minutes. Okay, yeah, I'm going to end this video. Let me see if I missed anything. Feelings of guilt. I really want to talk about it really quickly. Another way we've been controlled is guilt. Feelings of guilt, constant guilt. You want to pursue something, but you're worried about how it's going to affect your kids or your, whoever it is in your life, your significant other or your parents or whatever. You always, put these other reasons ahead of your own and that's how we've been programmed. That's exactly how we've been programmed. So the first thing is, when it comes to feelings of guilt, and it takes time, of course, but is to learn to not be feeling guilty anymore. Think whatever it is that you want to do, there's no limits. You can do it. And you should never feel guilty about that, ever. You should never feel guilty about taking extra time for yourself if you need it. If you're tired and you need some alone time, some recharging time, do it. Or if you need to splurge a little bit on yourself for something that you're investing in for yourself, whether it's for your well-being, your health, or your career or something, don't feel guilty about that, because that's something that you're investing in yourself, and you can't really put any amount on that, in life in general. So, that's basically what I wanted to say. Yeah, just to end this video really quick. So we did just end the karmic timeline, and I said this in my last video too. We just ended a karmic timeline, and you're gonna feel completely different now. And I think you know what I'm talking about. We've entered a whole new timeline at this point. Think about your life 2 years ago to now, and see the changes. At the time they may have seemed like nothing, they seem gradual, but compare your life 2 years ago to right now to see what you have really manifested for yourself in that time. And it's probably astronomical in that sense. You're probably not where you expect it to be. So that's who we are. That's what we're capable of. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, guys. I wish you, all the best. I'm sending you guys a lot of love. Please share this information if it resonates with you. Like I said at the beginning of the video, all the links are down below for my groups, my pages where you can contact me. If you have any questions, I'm totally open to that. Leave comments down below, no problem. And yeah, just, I'm sending you guys a lot of love. I just want you guys to understand the message that we need to wake up. We really need to learn to deprogram from 3D. Be aware, be conscious of where your programming lies, and just start to work on little ways to adjust your diet, adjust your routine, things like that, your thinking, your perspective on things, okay? To help you exit that matrix and finally liberate yourself as an angelic being. That's who you are. So sending you guys a lot of love. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.